All right, let's talk about something every trader knows: chart chaos, right? It can be a total mess. Well, today we're diving into a tool that's designed to clean all that up, to give you a super clear picture when things get noisy. It's called the BBTrend indicator, and we're going to see exactly how it works.
But first, just think about this for a second. What if you could just glance at a chart and boom, you instantly know the trend. You know its strength, no more trying to decipher crazy patterns, just one clean, simple signal. Well, that's pretty much the promise behind the BB trend indicator. Okay, so before we can really get into the nitty-gritty of BB trend, we've got to go back to its roots. We have to talk about the classic Bollinger Bands. You can't really appreciate the sequel without seeing the original movie first, right? Same idea here.
So, what are Bollinger Bands? Well, picture this. It's basically a channel, three lines drawn around the price, and the most important thing to get is at the width of that channel. That tells you everything about volatility. It's the classic way to see if the market is going wild or if it's kind of sleepy.
And here you go. You can see it right here in action. See how the bands get really wide over there on the left? That's high volatility. And then, look at the middle. See how they squeeze together? That's low volatility. It's a fantastic tool, for sure. But you can also see how it starts to get a little crowded, a little messy on the chart.
And that messiness, that visual clutter, that is exactly the problem that BB Trend is here to solve. It takes all that super useful information from Bollinger Bands and just cleans it up. It presents it in a way that's so much easier to read, so you don't get stuck in that, analysis paralysis trap.
I mean, look at this. This is the perfect before and after. On the left, you've got that chaos we were talking about, a bunch of Bollinger Bands stacked on top of each other. And on the right, look how clean that is. That's the BB Trend histogram. It just boils everything down into one simple, easy-to-read signal right below your price chart. So much better, right? So you might be wondering, where did this whole idea even come from? Well, it's a pretty cool story. The creator basically saw that a lot of traders were already doing this. They were stacking multiple Bollinger Bands on their charts. And he noticed something, a really clear pattern in how those bands would behave when a strong trend was happening. So BB Trend was built to just mathematically grab that pattern and turn it into a super simple visual.
Okay, so we see this simple-looking histogram, but how do we actually read it? It's actually all about three key things: the value, the color, and the intensity. Once you get these three down, you'll be able to read the market's mood in like a split second.
All right, first up is the value, and honestly, this couldn't be easier. Are the bars above the zero line? You're probably in an uptrend. Are they below the line? That points to a downtrend. And if they're just kind of hanging out near zero, well, the market's probably just chopping sideways with no real direction. Simple as that. Next, let's talk color. The easiest way to think about this is like a traffic light for the trend. Green means go. The uptrend is on. Red means stop, or at least that a downtrend is in control. It's just a really fast, intuitive way to see who's in charge, the bulls or the bears. And last but not least, we've got the intensity of the color. This is all about momentum. Think of it this way. A really bright, vibrant, popping color, that means the trend is strong, it's picking up speed. But if you see that color start to fade, getting all dim and washed out, that's your warning sign. That's the market telling you, hey, this trend might be running out of juice.
Okay, theory's great, but let's see this thing in a real-world example. Check out point A on the chart. See how those two lower bands are getting squeezed super close together? Now, look down at the indicator. What do you see? A big, strong, dark red bar. That's the signal. It's screaming, powerful downtrend in progress.
Now, let's compare that to point B. It's totally different, right? Here, there's no obvious squeeze on the top or the bottom. The bands are just kind of evenly spaced out. And no surprise, if you look at the BB Trend indicator, it's basically flat. It's sitting right at zero. That's what a sideways, consolidating market looks like on this tool. It's just waiting for its next big move. And finally, to complete the picture, look at point C. This is the mirror image of point A. See how it's the upper bands that are getting squished together now? And, just like you'd expect, the histogram spits out a nice, strong, bright green bar. That's your confirmation. A clear uptrend is happening right now. So, okay, we get how to read the signals now. That's awesome. But the real question is, how do we turn this into an actual trading idea? Well, let's walk through a really simple but super powerful strategy for using this thing to spot potential reversals, those big market turning points. Okay,
Probably one of the coolest ways to use BBTrend is to catch when a trend is getting tired, when it's running out of steam. And it's a super simple two-step process. Step 1, you find the highest high or the lowest low on the histogram. That's your moment of max power for the trend. Then, step 2, you just watch for the color to start fading. That's it. That's your early warning that things might be about to change. This chart right here is a textbook example. You can see the clear uptrend, right? And the green histogram pushes up and makes that big peak. But, and this is the important part, look what happens right after that peak. See how the bars start getting lighter and lighter? They start fading back towards zero. That was your signal. It's a huge visual clue that the upward push was fizzling out, and a reversal might be just around the corner. So there you have it. The BBTrend is, without a doubt, a fantastic tool. It's designed to cut through all that noise and let you see a trend and its momentum in just a single glance. It really does help turn that chart chaos into chart clarity. But it also brings up a much bigger question, doesn't it? In this constant search for a trading edge, is any one indicator ever really enough? Is there such a thing as a magic bullet? Well, that's a question every trader has to answer for themselves. Thanks for hanging out with me today.